Hello and welcome to another exciting tutorial of GreatStack. Today in this video we are going to learn how to create a beautiful portfolio website using Next.js. So here's the website that we are going to create in this tutorial. In this navigation bar you can see we have this logo, navigation menus and this button. And here we have this icon. Using this icon we can change the theme. We can switch between light mode and dark mode of this website. Here you can see we have these navigation menu. So if I click on this about me, it will scroll the web page to about section. If I click on services, it is scrolling the web page to services. If I click on work, it will scroll the web page to work section. Then we have this contact me. And then we have this footer. If I click on home, it will scroll the web page to the top. You can see the navigation menu is looking like this, and if I scroll the web page, then you can see the design for this navigation bar has been changed. If I change to dark mode and scroll the web page, you can see we don't have this border for this navigation menu, and if I scroll to the top, we have this border. You can see all the elements on this web page is animated. If I scroll the web page, it is revealing the animation one by one. So it looks very nice. And here we have this contact form. If anyone enter the name, email ID and message and click on this submit button, then the admin will receive the inquiry on their email ID. This web page is completely responsive. So let me open this web page in small screen. So you can see this web page is looking nice in this small screen. All sections are perfectly aligned in mobile view. And here we have this mobile navigation menu. If I click on this menu icon, it will open this navigation menu from the right side. And if I click here, it will close it. We can also click on these menu items. So it will close the navigation menu and scroll the web page to the particular section. Like this. We will create this beautiful portfolio website step by step using Next.js. So let's get started. Now we will start creating our portfolio website in Next.js. So let's come to Next.js website. And here you can see, here we have this command to create a simple Next.js application. So just copy this one, npx create next app at latest. Or you can go to documentation by clicking on this link and click on installation. So here we have complete steps. So you can see the first step is to use this command, npx create next app at latest. Just copy this one and we will open the terminal. So here we will open the command prompt terminal, and in this one let's add the command and press enter. So it will start creating the application. So it is asking what is your project name. So I will write my project name portfolio. Then it is asking would you like to use TypeScript, no or yes. So I'll simply click enter because no is already selected. You can change the option from arrow key. You can choose yes or no like this. So simply press enter. Here also we will select yes. Here we will select yes. So press enter. Now it is asking would you like to use Tailwind CSS. So I want to use Tailwind. So simply press enter. Here it is asking would you like your code inside a src directory. So I don't want the src directory. Simply press enter. So I'll again press enter, enter again, and again press enter. So now it is creating our Next.js application. Now you can see this message, success, created portfolio at this path. So let me close this terminal, and here you can see we have one folder called portfolio. And if I open this folder with VS Code, you can see this folder structure in this left sidebar. And in this one we have this app directory, and here we have this layout.js and page.js. So let me just run this project and see the web page. So first just open the terminal. I'll click here, select new terminal. So in this VS Code terminal, you can see we are in portfolio directory, right? So here we will write npm run dev. Then press enter. So it will start our project. Now you can see we have this URL localhost port 3000. Let me open this URL in web browser. So now you can see this is our simple Next.js application that is successfully running in the web browser. Now we have to clear this default project and we have to add the assets for our project. So I have this assets folder that you can download from the video description. So in this assets folder, you will find these images, icons, and one public folder. And here also we have some images, right? So let me just copy everything from here and open our project folder, that is portfolio, and here we will create a assets folder, and in this one paste all the images and icons like this. Now we have this public folder, so from this one just copy all the images and come back, and here in our project folder you can see we have a folder called public. So in this one we will paste the images that we have copied from the public folder of the assets folder. So in this public folder we have provided these images, that is work 1, 2, 3, 4, then sample resume and footer background color. Now just come back to the VS Code, and in the left sidebar you can see we have the assets folder, and in this assets folder we have all these icons, and here we have one assets.js file. So let me open this file, and in this file you can see I have imported all the images. After that we have exported these images using this object, and in this object we have added all the images so that we can easily use these images in our web page. Then we have this work data. Using that we will display the work card on our web page. Then we will display the services data using this array, that is service data. Then we have some other data, that is info list, and then we have tools data. So we will use these data to display content on our web page. After that, let's open this layout.js file, and here you can see we have the metadata where we can add the page title and description. So here we will add the title, portfolio, GreatStack. And here you can add any description. So let me remove it for now. Save the changes, and if I come back to the web page, here you can see the title portfolio-GreatStack on this browser, right? Now we have to clear these text. So just come back and we will open this page.js file. And here you can see we have these data in this div, right? So just select this div and clear everything. So now we have only return statement, and in this return statement we will add the fragments like this and remove this import image. Save the changes and come back to the web page. Now you can see our web page is clear. Next we have to add some Google fonts on our web page. So just come back and let's open layout.js file. Here you can see we have these fonts already imported from Google. So instead of this one we need some different font, that is outfit And with that, we will import one more font, that is OVO. So we are going to use these two fonts on our web page. After that, here you can see we have this variable. So in this one, we will add outfit and outfit. Then here we will add subset Latin, it is correct, and here remove this one. And after this subset, we will add weight. In this weight, we will add the array, and here we will define the weight, that is the font weight 400, 500, 600 and 700. Similarly, we will add one more variable. So duplicate this one, and here we will add the different font OVO. And in this one, we need only font weight 400. That's it. So let me remove all other font weight. After that, here we have this body tag. So in this body tag, we have to add the font. So we will add outfit dot class name. And we will add one more font, that is OVO dot class name. After that, we will come to this page globals.css, and here you can see these CSS properties. So let me remove these things. We will only keep this 3 lines, that is for tailwind, and here we will add asterisks that will select all the HTML elements, and in this one we will provide font family outfit. So it will apply outfit font for all the HTML elements. So now we have done the basic setup for our next application. If I come back to the web page, here we are getting some error. So let me just come back to layout.js file, and here I'll add small o for outfit and small o for OVO. And in this line also we will add outfit and OVO for small case. Save the changes and come back to the web page. Now you can see it is working good, and this page and our web page is blank. Now we will start creating the components like navigation bar, header, services, footer, etc. So just come back and we will come to this left sidebar, and in this sidebar we have to create a new folder. So in this portfolio folder, we will create a new folder, that is components. In this components folder, we will create different components. So for that, we will create a new file in this components folder and write the file name navbar.jsx. Here we will use RAFCE snippet. If the RAFCE snippet is not working for you, then you can install the extension called ES7 React Redux. You need to install this extension. Then you can use this snippet RAFCE. So it will create this component structure, right? Now in this navbar, we have to add the logo and some menu. So here, let me remove this div. In this fragment, we will add the navigation bar. So just add nav tag. And in this nav tag, we will add the logo. So we will add the anchor link or anchor tag. And here we will add the image. So just add the image tag. We will use this image from next/image. So you can see image from next image has been imported, right? Now just close this tag. And in this image, we have to add the source. So just add src, and here we will add assets. So just import this assets, and from this assets, we are going to use logo. So we have added the logo using this image tag, Now in this one we will add the class name, and here we will provide the tailwind classes. So we will provide the width, that is 28, and after that we will provide cursor pointer, and we will add the margin from the right side. Now in this navigation bar we will add the links. So we will add the UL and LI tag. So in this UL tag we will add multiple LI tag. So let's add LI, and in this LI we will add the A tag. And here let's add, so in this A tag we will add the anchor text, that is home. And here we will add the hashtag top. So if we click on this home menu, it will scroll the web page to the top. After that we will create a copy of this LI tag. Let me create multiple copies, and in the second one we will add the text about. Let's add about me. Then we will add services. After that we will add my work, and in the next one we will add contact me. And here in the hashtag we will add hashtag contact, then we will add hashtag work, then we will add hashtag services, then we will add hashtag about. And after this LI tag we will add one button also. So here let's add div, and within this div let's add one A tag, and here in this button we will add hashtag contact, and in this button we will add the button text called contact, and with this button we will add one icon also. So we will use the image tag. Let's use this image from Next, and in this image src we will provide assets dot arrow icon, and in this one let's add the class name, and for this one we will provide the width. Next we have to mount this navigation bar on this page.js file. So in this page.js file, within this fragment let's add Navbar. So you can see the Navbar has been imported from components directory, right? Now just close this tag, and we are going to render this component as client side rendering. So here in the top of this page we will use client. Save the changes and come back to the web page. So now on this web page you can see we have this logo and these links. Here we have some warnings, so let's click here. It is asking to provide the alt tag. So just close it and come back to the VS Code and open navbar.js file. You can see here we are using the image property or image tag. So in this image we will add the alt like this, and let's add the same thing in this image. Now it is good. Next we have to add the CSS or tailwind classes for this navigation bar so that it will be aligned horizontally. So just come back, and here in this nav tag let's add the class name, and here we will provide width, that is full, and it will be fixed at the top. So we will add the fixed, and after that we will add padding from x-axis, and we will add different padding for different screen size. So let's add padding x for large, padding x for extra large. Then we'll add some padding from y-axis, py, and after that we'll add flex item center justify between, so that all the contents will be aligned horizontally in the navigation bar. After that, we'll add Z index. After adding this, if I come back, you can see in the left side we have this logo, in the right side we have this contact link, and then we have these links in the center. Right. Now just come back, and here we have added this A tag. So in this one we have the href, so we will add hashtag top. So it will scroll the web page to the top when we click on the logo. After that, we'll add the CSS properties in this UL tag. So in this UL, we will add the class name, and here let's provide hidden. So this UL tag will be hidden on phone screen, and if I add MD, so again it will be visible on medium screen size. So here we will add MD flex, so it will be visible. After that, we'll add item center, then we'll provide some gap for different screen size. And after that, we'll add border radius, then padding X and padding Y. Like this. After adding this, come back to the web page. Now you can see this navigation bar is looking good. Next, we'll add the CSS properties for this contact button. So just come back. And here we have this A tag where we have added the contact. So in this one, let's add class name, and we will provide hidden. So it will be hidden on phone screen. After that, it will be visible for larger screen. So just add LG flex. Then we'll add item center, gap 3, padding X, so it will add the gap between the contact, text and icon. After that, we have to add the padding from y-axis, then we'll add some border. So we have provided border and margin from left side. Save the changes. Now you can see this contact button is looking good. Next, we have to add different font in this navigation links. So just come back, and here you can see we have this sidebar, and in this sidebar we have this tailwind.config.mjs file. So just open this one, and in this one you can see we have theme, then extended. Here we have the extended colors. So let me remove this colors, and instead of this one we will use different color. So here I'm going to use any color name you can choose. So I'll choose the color name light hover, and here we will use this color code. Similarly, we will add another color for dark hover. Next, we'll add one color code for our dark theme that we will use later when we will create the dark mode of this website. And after this colors, here we'll add another object. So let's add the another property where we'll add the object. So we'll add the property called font family. And in this font family, we will add one object. And here we will define the font name. So we'll add the font name outfit. And in this outfit, let's add outfit sans serif. Like this. And with that, we will add one more font, that is OVO, that we have already imported. Like this. So now we can simply use font-outfit or font-ovo in our Tailwind classes. So here you can see we have this Navbar.js. So if I want to add any font in this nav links, we can simply use class name, then font-ovo, like this. We will use the same font in all menu items. So here just add this, and we will use this font in this A tag also. So here let's add this font. Now save the changes and come back to the web page. You can see different font for these menu items. Correct. Now in this navigation menu, we will add the background white and we'll add some shadow. So let me just come back to VS Code, and here you can see we have this UL tag. So in this UL tag, let's add background white. Then we will add small shadow and we will add the background opacity 50. Save the changes and come back to the web page. So you can see a very light shadow behind these menu items. After that, we will add one gradient color image in the background of this navbar. So if I come back to the project folder, and in this project folder we have the assets, and in this assets you can see we have one image with gradient color pattern. So we are going to use this image in the background of the navigation bar. For that, let's come back, and here before this nav tag, let's add a div. So here we will add a div before the nav tag, and within this div we are going to use the image. Use the image tag, and here we will add the src, and in this one we will add assets dot header background color. Then we will add the alt property, and after that we will add the class name, and we will provide the class name width full. After that, here we have this div, so in this one we will add the class name, and here we will provide fixed, so it will be fixed at its position. So we will provide fixed and top 0, right 0. Then we have to provide the width, then z index, and after that we will provide the translate. Save the changes and come back to the web page. Now you can see very light gradient color in the background of the navigation bar. After that, let me come back to the Figma design, and here you can see in this navigation bar we have to add this icon to change the theme either in dark mode or light mode. So we have to add one icon here that will toggle the theme. So let me just come back to the VS Code and scroll down, and here we have this div where we have added the contact button. So before this contact link, we have to add one icon. So let's add the button tag, and in this button we will add the image tag. In this image src, let's provide assets dot moon icon. Then we will provide the alt property, and here we will add the class name. So in this one we have to set the width. After that, in this div we have to add the class name, and here we will provide flex so that it will be aligned side by side. So we have provided flex item center gap 4. Now just come back to the web page. You can see we have the moon icon, and after that we have this contact link. After this contact button, we will add one menu icon also that will be visible on phone screen only. So let me just come back, and after this a tag, here let's add one button tag, and in this button tag again we will add the image. So just copy this and paste it here. Here we will add assets dot menu black, and after that we will add the alt property, and here we will provide the width 6 and save the changes. So here you can see one menu icon also. But this menu icon will be visible on phone screen only. So we have to hide it. So in this button tag, we will add the class name and provide block. So it will be visible on phone screen, and on the medium screen device, we will add hidden. So it will be hidden. And we will add the margin from the left side. Save the changes. Now you can see that menu icon is hidden, and if I change the screen size, so again this menu icon is visible. And you can see one more thing, if I increase the screen width, these menu items are visible, and if I change the screen size and come to a small screen, the menu items are hidden. So next we have to create the menu items or menu list for a small screen that will be displayed from the right side. So just come back, and here we have this closing div tag, right? So after that we will add one comment. So let me add the comment, mobile menu, and here we will add the UL tag. And in this UL again we will add multiple li tags, and in this li tag we will add the a tag. So just copy the previous li tags. Here it is. Let me just copy and paste it here like this. So here we have added all the li tags, and these list items should be visible on phone screen only. For that, here in this UL tag, we will add the class name. So let's add the class name, and we will provide flex so that it will be visible, and here we will add medium hidden. So it will be hidden on medium screen size. After that, we will provide flex column, gap, padding y, padding x, fixed, then right -64, top 0, bottom 0, width 64, z-index, height will be full screen, so h screen. Then we'll add the background color, transition and duration. So we have added the class name in this UL tag. Here we have added minus right 64. So let me make it 0 for now. And after that, if I come back to the web page and change the screen size, so now you can see this navigation bar in the right side, correct? And if I make it -64, so it will be hidden. And if I again make it 0, so it will be visible like this. Now in this mobile navigation menu, we have to add one cross icon also so that we can close the menu. So just come back, and here before this li tag, let's add one div. And within this div, we will add the image tag. Using that, we will add the cross icon. So in this image tag, let's add the src. And we will provide assets dot close black. And after that, we will add the alt property. And here we will provide the class name. So in this one, we will provide the width and cursor pointer like this. After adding it, just come back to the web page. Here you can see we have one cross icon, correct? Now let me just come back, and in this div, we will add the class name, and here we will provide position. So the position will be absolute, and right 0, and right 6, and top 6. Save the changes. So now you can see perfect position for this cross icon. Next, we have to add the functionality so that if I click on this cross icon, it should hide this side navigation menu from the mobile view. And if I click on menu icon, it will again display the mobile menu. So to add that functionality, let's come back, and we will change it to -64. and now it is hidden. And here we have the menu icon. So just come back, and in this navbar.jsx file, scroll to the top, and before this return statement, here we will add const side menu ref. We will create one reference variable. So here we will add useRef, and now we have to link this side menu ref with our UL tag, this one. So in this UL tag, we'll add the ref and provide this side menu ref. So it will select this UL tag. Now after this, we will add one function that will be open menu. So let's add const open menu equal to one arrow function, and in this one we will select this side menu dot current dot style dot transform. So we have to move our sidebar from right side to left side to display the sidebar. For that, we'll add transform translate x minus 16 rem. So it will shift the sidebar to the left side. And again, we have to hide this sidebar. So we will move it to the right side. For that, let's create another function, duplicate this one, and write the function name close menu. And in this one, we will simply add 16 rem. That's it. So we have added the function for open menu and close menu. Next, we have to link this function with our menu icon and cross icon. So scroll down. Here we have the UL tag. And in this UL tag, you can see we have added the cross icon, right? So in this image tag or in this div tag, here we will add the onClick property. And in this onClick, we will provide close menu. Let me just copy this one, and we have to provide this close menu in all the menu items also. So let's select these menu items and provide this onClick close menu like this. After that, you can see here we have added the menu icon in this button tag. So in this button tag, we will add the onClick property and provide open menu. That's it. Save the changes and come back to the web page. So by default, this mobile menu is hidden, and here we have the menu icon. And if I click on this menu icon, this mobile menu is visible, and if I click on this cross icon, it will hide the menu like this. If I open again and click on any menu item, let me click on contact me, it will also hide the menu. And if we have the contact section, it will also scroll the web page to the contact section. So this toggle menu for mobile screen is working fine. After creating this navigation bar, let me just come back to the Figma design. And here you can see we have this header. And in this header, we have to add the user's image, name, some welcome text, then a small description and 2 buttons. So to create this header section, let's come back to the VS Code. And in the left sidebar, we have this components folder. So in this components folder, we'll create a new file called header.jsx. Here we will use RAFCE, and in this div, first we have to add one image. So we have to wrap this image in one div, and let's add the image tag. We will use this image from Next.js/image. So this image has been imported. Now close this tag, and here in this image we will add the src and provide assets. So this assets has been imported. We will add assets dot profile image. Then we will add the alt property, and in this image we have to provide the classes. So just add the class name, and here we will provide rounded full so that it will be a circle, and then we will provide the width 32. And after this image we have to add one title that will be the user's name. So after this image tag, let's add the title in h3. So in this one, let's add hi and the name, that is William Mark. Then again we will add the image. So use this image tag, paste it here. In this image src, we will add the hand icon. And after that, in this class name, just provide width, that is 6. Now in this h3 tag, we have to add some classes. So let me add class name, and in this one, let's add flex so that the hand icon and the text will be aligned side by side. Then we will add the items end. Then we will add gap 2, and we'll add the text size, that is XL, and we'll add the 2XL for medium screen. Then we'll add margin bottom, and after that here we will add the font. So we'll add the font OVO. That's it. So in this div we have added one image and text. Here I have added this title within this div, so let me move it outside of this div. Just cut this one and paste it after closing of this div. So we have this h3 tag here. After this h3 tag, let's add the text in h1. And in this h1, we will add this text. Now we'll add the classes for this title. So just add the class name. And here we have to provide the text size. Then we will provide font OVO. So we have provided different text size for different screen, and we have provided the font family. After that we have to add a small description. So we will add the paragraph tag. And in this paragraph tag, let's add the description. This is the small text. And here in this p tag, again we'll add the class name, and in this one we have to provide the maximum width, then margin X auto and font. After that we have to add two buttons. So we will group these buttons in a div. And in this div we will add the a tag for the first button, and the button text will be contact me. And with this button we will add the image tag also. So just copy the image tag from here, paste it here. In this image src, we will add right arrow white, and then we'll add the class name. It will be width 4. And in this href we will add hashtag contact. So we have added the first button. Now just duplicate it. So we have another a tag, right? And in this one we will add the text called my resume. And in this image src we will add assets.download icon. And here we have the class name, correct? Now in this a tag we have to add the href property, and in this href we will provide / and we will add the file name, that is here. If I open this sidebar, and we will open this public folder, so you can see we have added this sample resume.pdf. So we have to provide that file name here, like this. And after that we have to add the download property like this. And then we will provide some classes. So here just add the class name. Let me move it in new line. So here in this one we will provide padding X, padding Y, border, rounded full, border gray and flex, then item center and gap. Now we'll add the classes in this first A tag also. So in the first A tag, let's add the class name. That is the first button. And here also we will add padding X, Y, border, border white, rounded full, background black. In this one we are adding the background black. Then we have the text white, flex, item center and gap of 2. So we have added this button also. So now you can see we have added these two buttons in this div. So for this div also we will add the class name. So let's add the class name property. And in this one we are going to provide flex column, and for small and above screen we will add flex row. Then we will add the item center, gap 4 and margin top 4. Now save the changes, and next we have to mount this header in this page.js. So here we have mounted this navbar. So after this navbar we will add header component. So this header has been imported. Close this tag. Now save the changes and come back to the web page. So here you can see we have the user's profile image, name, some title, description and 2 buttons. We have to add some CSS. So just come back. Let me come back to the header.jsx file. So let me scroll to the top, and here we have the first div. So in this one, let's add the class name, and we will provide the width. Then we will provide the maximum width. After that, we'll add the text center, margin X, auto, and then we'll add the height. That is full screen. Then we will provide the flex column, item center, justify center and gap 4. After adding this, if I come back to the web page, it looks correct. After that, I want to increase the line height of all the text on this web page. For that, just come back and we will open this layout.js file. And in this one, you can see we have the class name. So in this one, let's add a space, and here we will provide leading 8. So it will increase the line height, and with that, let me add overflow X hidden, so that it will not scroll the web page on smaller screen when we move the sidebar out of the viewport width. After adding this, if I come back to the web page, you can see the line height has been increased for all these text. Now this header is looking perfect. Now just come back to the Figma design again. So you can see we have created this navigation bar, then this header section. After that, we have to create this About Me section. To create this About Me section, let's come back to the VS Code, and in this components folder, we will create a new file. So create a file with the name about.jsx. Here we will use RAFCE. Now in this div, we have to add one small text and title. So let's add the text in h4 tag, and the text is introduction. And after that, we'll add another text in h2 tag. So this will be about me. After that, we have to mount this component on app. So let's open page.js file, and here we have this header. So after this header, we have to mount about component. So this about component has been imported. Close this tag, save the changes and come back to the web page. So if I scroll this web page, you can see at the end in the left side we have this introduction and about me. Correct. Now just come back and we will add the CSS properties. So first in this div we will add the class name, and here we will provide the width, padding, then scroll empty 20, and after that in this div we will add one ID. So in this ID we will add about, so that if I click on the navigation menu, it will scroll the web page to this particular section. And to make the scroll smooth, we have to come to this layout.js file, and in this layout.js you can see we have the HTML tag, and in this HTML tag we will add class name, and here we will provide scroll smooth like this. Now save the changes and come back to the web page. Scroll down and here you can see this text, and if I come back to the top and click on this about me, you can see it is scrolling the web page automatically. Let's come back to the top again, click here. You can see it is scrolling the web page to this section. Right. Now let's come back and open about.jsx file, and in this one we have added this title. So let's add the class name here. So we will add the class name, and here let's provide text center, margin bottom, text large and font family. Now let's add the class name in this tag, that is h2. So here we will add the class name, and in this one we will provide text center, and we will increase the font size using this text 5XL, and we will change the font. Now you can see this text is looking good with increased font and font family. After that we have to create two columns, and in the left side we will add the user's image, and in the right side we will display some information. So let's come back, and after this h2 tag, here we will create a div, and in this div we have to create two columns. So let's add the div for the first one, and in this first div we have to add one image. So write img tag, image tag, and let's close this tag. In this image we have to add the src, and in this image src we will provide the image from assets. So let's add assets dot user image. Then we will add the alt property, and in this alt let's add user, and after that we have to add the CSS properties for this image. So just add the class name, and in this one we will provide width and border radius. So we will add the width full and rounded 3XL. Now we will add the second column. So after closing of this div we will add another div, and in this one we will add the class name, and let's provide flex 1. So it will use the entire space available in this row. Now here we have this parent div. So in this one also we will add the class name, so that both div will be aligned side by side. So here let's add the flex, and we will provide the width full, then flex column, then flex row for large screen, then item center and gap and margin Y. Save the changes and come back to the web page. Scroll down. So here you can see this image in the left side. Now let's come back, and here you can see we have this div. So in this div we will add the class names. So in this one let's provide width, and we will change the width for different screen. So we have added width 64 and width 80, then border radius and max width none. Save the changes and come back to the web page. Now you can see perfect size for this user image. Let's add the content for the right side of this About Me section. So in the right side, we have to add a small description. So here in this div, we will add the description in paragraph tag. So in this paragraph tag, let's add the text like this. And in this p tag, we have to add some classes. So just add the class name. And in this one, we will provide the margin from the bottom, then maximum width, and we will provide the font. After that, we have to add some card. So we will add the UL tag. And in this li, we will display the information in 3 cards. So if I come back to the assets file, which is here, assets.js, and in this one you can see we have this info list where we have the icon, then we have the title, and we have this description. So we have to display these details on the web page in 3 card. So let's come here in this about.jsx file, and here within this UL tag we have to add multiple li tag based on that information. So first, let's get that info list here. So just add curly braces, info list. This is an array, so here you can use map method. And in this one, let's add one arrow function. And then we'll add this small bracket. And in this one, we'll add the li tag that will be displayed on the web page. Now in this parameter, we will destructure the data from this list, that is info list. So here we'll get icon, then we'll get icon dark. As you can see in this data, we have this icon, icon dark, then we have the title, then description, correct? So here in this one, we'll get icon, icon dark, then we will get the title, then description. And after this, we will get the index number, correct? Now in this li tag, we have to add the key property, and in this key property, we will provide the index. And within this li tag, we have to display the icon, title, and description. So in this li tag, let's add one image tag. And here we will add the src. And in this src, we will add the icon. After that, we have to add the alt property. And in this alt, we will provide the title. After that, here we have to add the title that will be displayed in s3 tag. So just add curly braces, title. Then we will add the description in paragraph text. So we will add curly braces, description. That's it. After adding this, save the changes and come back to the web page. Now you can see here we have the description, then we have the icon, title, and small description. And here we have total 3 information. Now we will add the CSS properties for this icon and this title description. So just come back. And here you can see we have added the UL tag. So in this UL tag, let's add the class name. And we will provide grid layout. So let's add grid column 1. And for small and above a screen, we will add grid columns 3. Then we have added the gap and maximum width. After that, we have this li tag. So in this li tag also, we will add the class name. So here let's add class name, and here we will provide border and border color. Then we will add the border radius, that is rounded XL. After that, we have to add the padding and cursor pointer. Next, we have to add the CSS properties for this image, text and description. So in this image, we will add the class name, and here we have to set the width, and we have to add some margin from the top. So we have added width 7, margin top 3. Now in this title, let's add the class name, and in this one we will provide the margin from y-axis, then font semi-bold and text color. Now in this description, we will add the class name, and here we have to change the text color, and we will reduce the text size. So we have added text small. After adding this, if I come back to the web page, you can see this info section is looking good. Next, we have to add the hover effect on these cards. For that, let's come back, and here we have to add the color when we hover on this card. So if I come back to this sidebar, and here you can see we have this tailwind.config.mjs file. So in this one, you can see we have added this color code, light hover, dark hover, right? So let me use this light hover color. So just copy this one and come back here in about.js file. In this one, here we have this li tag. So in this li tag, after this cursor pointer, we will add hover and provide this color, that is light hover. So when we will hover on this card, it will change the background color. So here we have to add one more thing, that is bg dash. So it will change the background color, hover bg dash light hover. And after that, when we hover it, we have to change the position, so it will move up. So here let's add hover, and here we will add minus translate y minus 1. So here we have added minus translate y1. So it will move up y 4 pixel. Then we have to add the transition duration. So just add duration 500. And if I come back to the web page, you can see if I take cursor over this card, it is moving up and the background color is changing. Next, we have to add a small shadow when we hover on these card. So to apply a shadow, let's come back and again open this tailwind config file. In this tailwind config, we have to add one box shadow. So here let's add comma, and here we will add box shadow colon and create one object. So in this one, we will create two shadow that will be used for light mode and dark mode. So let's add name, that is black. So this black shadow will be displayed on light mode. So here let's add shadow properties, that is 4 pixel, then 4 pixel, then 0, and then we will add the color. Let's add the comma and duplicate this line. Here we will add the different name, that is white. And here we will change the color. It is FFF, that is white. So we have added custom shadow for this tailwind. Now we can use this shadow in this class name. So here it is. So after this duration, let's add hover and we will add shadow dash black. So this black shadow will be displayed when we hover on that card. So save the changes and come back to the web page. Now if I move cursor over this card, you can see a black color of shadow. Now it looks good. After that, we will add some icons for the tools we use. So let's come back and scroll down. After closing of this UL tag, here we have to add one text. So we are going to use the h4 tag, and in this one we will add the text called tools I use. And after that we have to display the tools list. So we will add the UL, and in this UL we will add the list. So if I come back to the assets.js file, here you can see we have this tools data, that is an array, and in this array we have different icons, right? So we are going to display this icon in this li tag. So here first we'll add the curly braces, and let's add tools data from the assets file, and it is an array, so we can use the map method. Now in this one we have to add one arrow function, and let's add this small bracket. Now in this parameter we will get individual tool, and we will get the index number, and here we will return one li tag. Now in this li tag we have to add the key property, where we will add the index, and within this li tag we can display the tool image using the image tag. Now in this image we will add the src, and in this src simply add this tool from the parameter. After that we will add the alt property, where we will add tool, and next we will add the class name. So let's add the class name, and here we will define the width. So we have added width 5 and a small screen width 7. So save the changes and come back to the web page. Now you can see this text tools I use, and here we have all the tools icon. Next we have to align it horizontally, and we have to add some space also, and we'll add the square box. So just come back and let's start with this text. So in this text we will add a class name. So here we will add the margin from the y-axis, then we'll add the text color gray 700, then font. After that we have to add the CSS properties in this UL tag. So we'll add the class name in this UL, and here we will add the flex and flex item center, then gap 3 and gap 5 for small and above screen size. Now you can see it will be aligned horizontally, right? Now for these icons we have to add the square border. So just come back, and here we have this li tag. So in this li tag we will add the class name. So in this one we will add flex item center justify center. After that we have to add the width, then we will add different width for different screen size. After that we have to make it a square, so we will add aspect a square. After that we will add the border, then we will add the border color, that is gray 400, and we will add the border radius. So we have added rounded LG, rounded large. Then we will add the cursor pointer, and after that we have to add the hover effect on these icons. So we'll add the hover, and it will also move up. So let me just copy it from here. We have added hover translate y-1 and duration. So just copy this one and paste it here. Hover translate y-1 and duration 500. That's it. Save the changes and come back to the web page. Now you can see we have a small border around these icons, that is tools, and if I hover on these icons you can see it is moving up. So now we have completed this about me section also. But before moving to another section, you can see if I scroll this web page, this navigation bar is collapsing with other content. You can see it is mixed up. you can't see the text clearly when we scroll the web page, right? So we have to change the background color of this navigation bar when we scroll the web page. For that, let's come back to the VS Code and let's open this Navbar.js file again. And in this Navbar, scroll up, and here before this return statement, we will add one use effect. Right now, in this one, we'll add the arrow function, and here we will add the dependency array. So this arrow function will be executed whenever this component gets mounted. Now here we have to add the feature to get the scroll. So we'll add window.addEventListener, and we'll add the event name, that is scroll. So whenever a scroll will happen, then this arrow function will be executed. Right now we'll check if a scroll y is greater than 50, right? So what will happen if the scroll y is greater than 50, then we'll make the scroll true, and if it is less than 50, then we'll make the scroll false. So let's add the else statement also. So here we have to create a state variable that will save the scroll state, right? So here before this one, let's add const and create the state variable. So we'll add isScroll, and setter function name is set isScroll equal to use state, and this use state has been imported, right? And in this one we will make it false. So by default the isScroll will be false, right? Now scroll down, and here we will add the setter function, that is set isScroll, and we will make it true. When we are scrolling the web page more than 50, then it will make it true, and here let's make it false, right? So now we will get the scroll state, whether the page is scrolled or not. Now based on this state, we will change the CSS properties for the navigation bar. So let's scroll down, and here we have added the navigation bar in this nav tag. So in this one, you can see we have added this CSS properties. So here in this class name, we have to add the dynamic class name based on the isScroll value, right? So to insert the dynamic class name, first let's add the curly braces. So we have wrapped all the class name in the curly braces, and let's change this quote in backticks so that we can add the template literal. So here we have added the backtick and close it with backticks like this. You can see we have added the backticks here and here, correct? And after this z-index 50, we will add the $sign curly braces. So within this, we can add the template literal. Now we will use the ternary operator that will check whether the isScroll is true or false. So here we will add isScroll. It means if the page is already scrolled. In that case, what will happen, we will add the different class name. So we'll add some classes here. So just add double quote, and here we have to add the background color. So we'll add the background white. After that, we have to add the background opacity. So the background opacity will be 50. After that, we have to add background blur large. And then we have to add the shadow, that is a small shadow. After that, here you can see we have this closing curly braces. So before this closing curly braces, let's add colon, and we will provide empty string. So what is happening here? If the is scroll is true, then it will add this background white and opacity and backdrop, blur, large and shadow. And if is scroll is false, it will add empty string. That's it. Now just save the changes and come back to the web page. Now if I scroll this web page, you can see this navigation bar is clearly visible, right? Next we will change the background color for this UL tag also when we scroll the web page. So let's come back and scroll down. Here we have this UL tag. So in this UL tag also we will add the dynamic class. So let's wrap these classes in curly braces. Then we will change this quote into backticks like this. Correct? And after that you can see here we have added background white, shadow and opacity. So it will be applied whenever the scroll is false, and when we scroll the web page we have to remove these classes. So here after this padding y3, let's add curly braces, and before that we'll add the $sign curly braces, and here we'll add ternary operator is a scroll, and here we'll add is a scroll is true, then this empty string will be added, and here we'll add the colon. It means when the is a scroll is false, then in this double quote we'll add the class name. So in this double quote let's add these classes. Just cut it from here and paste it inside this double quote like this. Now save the changes and come back to the web page. If I scroll this web page, you can see that background color, that is white background color behind these list items will be removed. You can see it is removed, and this navigation bar is clearly visible. So it is looking perfect when we scroll this web page. And if I click on about me, it is scrolling the web page to about section like this, and it is scrolling the web page smoothly. It looks good. And let me open this web page in mobile view and open this navigation bar. Click on about me. You can see it will close this sidebar and it will also scroll the web page. Let's click here. You can see it is scrolling the web page to about me. So now we have added this scroll feature that will change the background of this navigation bar, and then we have completed this about me section. After that, let's come back to the Figma design file. So you can see in this design, we have to create the next section, that is my services, where we will add this small title, then this text my services and a small description. Then we will display the services in 4 columns. So to create this my services section, just come back to the VS Code. Here we will open the sidebar, and in this components folder we will create a new file and write the file name services.jsx. Here we will use RAFCE. Next we have to mount this component on page.js file. So let's open page.js, and after this about, let's mount this services component. So this services component has been imported. After that, let's come back to the services.jsx file, and here we will add the CSS properties for this div, and in this one we will add the text. So let me come back to the previous section, that is about.jsx, and in this one you can see we have added this ID and class name, then we have added this text in H4 and H2. So let me just copy this text and paste it in this services within this div. And let me just copy the class name also. So we will copy this class name and paste it here. in this div. So here we have added the class name where I have provided width full, then padding X, padding Y, scroll empty 20. And in this div we will add the ID also, and in this ID we will provide services, so that if I click on the navigation menu, it will scroll the web page to this particular section. After that, here in this H4 we will update the text. So I'll add the text here, what I offer, and we have already added this class name that we have copied from the previous section. After that, here we have the another text in H2. So in this one we will add the text called my services, like this. Now save the changes and come back to the web page. If I scroll this web page, here you can see this text, what I offer and my services. It looks good. After that we will add a small description. So just come back, and after this H2 tag, here we will add the text in P tag, and this is the text. Now in this P tag we will add the class name also. So we will add the class name, and here we will provide the text center, then we will provide the maximum width and margin X auto, margin top, margin bottom, and font ovo. That's it. Save the changes and come back to the web page. Here you can see this small description in this services section. After that we have to create a row, and in that one we will create multiple column where we will display different services. So let's come back, and after this P tag, here we will add a div, and here we will add the class name. For this div we will provide the grid layout, so that all the items inside this div will be aligned in columns. Here I'll add grid, then I want to display services in 4 columns, so we'll add grid calls 4. Then we will provide the gap 6, and we will add the margin from y-axis. After that, here we have to display these services. So if I come back to the assets.js file, and in this one you can see here we have one services data, that is an array, and in this array we have 4 objects, and in each object we have the icon, title, description, and link. So we have to get these data from this array, and then we will display these data on the web page. So we are going to use this services data array. So just come back to the services.jsx file, and here let's add curly braces, then add services data from the assets file. Then we will use the map method. Now here we will add the arrow function, and in this one we will return one div, like this. Now in this parameter we will get individual service and index number. So here we'll get this object. In each data we have one object, right? So we will get this object. So from this object we will destructure all the properties, that is icon, title, description, and link. So here let's add one curly braces, and we will add the icon, then title, then we will add description and link, and after this curly braces we will add comma, index. Now within this div we have to display the data using these icon, title, description, and link. So in this div first we will add the key property, and the key will be index, correct? and within this div we have to display one image. If I come back to the Figma design, you can see in this service card we have the image, then title, description and link, right? So just come back and here we will add the image from next/image. So this next image has been imported, and here we have imported the services data from assets file. So in this image we have to provide the src, and in this src simply add the icon that we are getting in this parameter. After that we will add the alt property, and then we will provide the width for this image. So just add the class name and provide the width 10. After this image we have to display the service title that we will display in h3 tag. So here let's add curly braces and provide our service title. We are getting this title from here in this parameter. Now for this title also we will add some CSS. So just add the class name, and in this one we have to provide the text size. So we will add text large, then margin Y and text color gray 700. After that we will add this service description in p tag. So in this p tag let's add curly braces description, and in this p we will add the class name also. So here we will add the small text. So we will add text small, then text color gray 600 and leading 5. That will change the line height of the description. After that we have to add the link. So we will add the a tag, and in this href we will add the link that we are getting from the parameter that is here. And in this a tag we have to add the text and icon. So the text will be read more, and then we will add the icon. So we will add the image tag, and in this src we will add assets dot right arrow, and after that we have to provide the width. So we will add the class name, and the width will be 4. Now in this a tag we will add the class name. So we will add the class name here, and here we will provide flex so that the link text and icon will be aligned side by side, then item center, then gap and text small and margin top. After adding this, save the changes and come back to the web page. Here you can see we have all these services data: web design, mobile app, UI UX design and graphics design. And we are getting this error message because we have missed the alt property here. So if I open this image src, you can see here we have missed the alt property. So let's add alt. That's it. Now we'll add the CSS properties in this div where we have added the key, right? So here we'll add the class name in the next line, and in this one we have to add the border and border color, and we'll add the border radius. So we have added border gray 400 and rounded large. After that we will add the padding from X, then we'll add the padding from Y. Next we have to add the hover effect. So here we will add hover, and whenever we will hover on this service we will display a small shadow. So just add shadow black. So this custom shadow we have declared in the tailwind config file, and we have already used in the previous section, that is about. And after that we will add the cursor pointer, and whenever we will hover on this service then we will change the background color also. So just add hover bg light hover. and on hover it should move up, so we'll add the hover effect minus translate y1 like this, and then we have to add the transition duration, so simply add duration 500 like this. Now save the changes and come back to the web page. Now you can see if I move cursor over any service card, it is moving up, and we have the background color and we have this dark shadow. Now the service section is looking good, and if I open this web page in small screen, scroll down, so you can see right now this services section is not looking good for smaller screen, so we have to make it responsive. So let's come back to the VS Code, and here you can see we have added grid columns 4. That's why it is displaying all 4 items in single row. So we have to add the responsive code. So let me just come back to tailwind.config.mjs file. In this one, here we have added box shadow. So after this curly braces, we'll add the comma, and here we will define custom column for grid. So let's add grid template columns. We have added grid template columns. The T is capital and C is capital. Then we'll add colon and curly braces. In this one, we will add our custom grid template. So here we'll add the name, that is auto, because it will decide the number of columns automatically based on the viewport width. So here we'll add auto, and then in the value we will add repeat, then add the small bracket, and here we'll add auto fit, then comma, we will add min max, and in this min max we will add the minimum value 200 pixel and the maximum will be 1 fraction. That's it. Now save these changes and just come back to this services.jsx file, and instead of this grid columns 4, we will add grid columns auto, because we have defined the custom column with the name auto. So we have added grid columns auto. Save the changes. Now if I come back to the web page and reduce the screen size, so you can see now we have 3 columns. If I further reduce the screen size, now we have 2 columns. If I further decrease the screen size, you will get 1 item in 1 column. So all the items are aligned vertically, and it is looking good for smaller screen also. So now we have completed this services section. After this services section, we have to create another section. So we will come back to the Figma design, and here you can see after this services, we have this latest work section or portfolio section. So we have to create this work section. So let's come back and open the sidebar, and here we have this components folder. So in this components folder, we will create a new file called work.jsx. Here we will use RAFCE. Now in this one, we have to add small title and description. So we will copy it from the previous section. In this services, you can see we have added the title in H4, H2, then we have this text in p tag. So we'll copy all these things and paste it here in this work. And after that, in this one, you can see we have this class name also. So we'll copy this class name and paste it here in this work. Here we have this div, so we'll paste this class name. Now in this one, we have to add one ID also. So let's add the ID, that is work. And here we have added width full, padding X, padding Y, scroll empty 20. Then we have this title in H4. So in this title, we will add the text called my portfolio. Then we have the class name, text center, margin bottom, text large and font ovo. After that, we have another text in H2 tag. So in this one, we will add the text called my latest work. And here we have this class name, text center, text 5XL, font ovo. After that, we have the description in p tag. So we will update the description also. So we will add this description. And here also we have added this class name that we have copied from the previous section. After that, we have to mount this component on page.js file. So let's open this page.js file, and after this services, we will mount work component. So this work component has been imported. After that, save the changes and come back to the web page. And here you can see we have this text, my portfolio, my latest work, and this small description. Next, we have to display the work like this in different column, and we will get this work data from the assets file. So if I come back to the VS Code and we will open this assets.js file. So here you can see we have this work data array, and in this array we have different object, and each object represent one work that includes the title, description and background image. So we are going to use these details to display the portfolio on the web page. So just come back to the work file, that is work.jsx, and after this description we will add the space, and here we will add the div, and in this div we have to display the work data. So we will add curly braces work data from assets file, then we will add the map method, and here we will add the arrow function, and in this arrow function we will add one div, so it will return a div. Now in this parameter we will get individual work project and we will get index number. So just add project and index. Correct. Now in this div we have to add the key property. So in this key we will add the index, and within this div we have to add the background image. So to add the background image we will add style property, and in this style we will add curly braces background image colon, and here we will add backticks, then URL, and in this URL we have to add the image that we will get from this project. So we will add $, curly braces, and we will add project.bg image. If I open this assets.js, you can see we have this bg image property, right? So we are using this bg image here to add the background image. Now within this div we have to display this card that contains the text, a small description and this icon, right? So let's come back, and within this div we will create another div, and in this div we will add one text. So the text will be project title, and we will add the project title in h2 tag. So in this h2 we will add the curly braces and write project.title. After that we will add the text in p tag. So here in this p tag we have to display the project description. So just add project.description. So we have added this div, And after that we'll add another div. In this one we have to display one icon. So here we'll add the image tag from next image. Then we'll add the src, and in this src we'll add assets dot send icon. After that we'll add the alt property, that is send icon, and here we have to add the width for this image. So we'll add the class name and provide the width 5. After adding this, if I come back to the web page, here you can see we have all the images, but alignment is not good. So we'll add the CSS properties for this. So just come back, and here after this P we have this div. So let's start with this div. So in this one we have to add the grid layout. So we will add the class name and we will provide grid, and again we'll add the responsive layout. So we'll add grid column auto that we have already added in the previous section. After that we will add the margin from y-axis, then we will add the gap. After that here we have this div where we have added the key property, right? So in this one let's add the class name, and in this one we have to add the aspect ratio. So the aspect ratio will be a square. So we have added aspect a square. Then we will add background no repeat, and the background will be cover. And after that we'll add the background center. Then we'll add border radius. So just add rounded large. And in this one we'll add the relative. So the position will be relative, and using this we can add the absolute position for the inner div. After that we'll add the cursor pointer, and we will add group also, so that we can add the hover effect inside this box. So we'll add group. Now save the changes, and in this one we have this div that contains the title and a small text, and this div contains the image. So we have to wrap these data in another div. So here let's add the space, and we'll add a div, and let's move this to div inside this one like this. So here you can see we have this div, and in this one we have first div that contains the project title and description, and the second div contains the icon. So in this parent div we will add the class name. Here we will provide background white, then we will provide the width. After that we will add border radius, then we will add the position absolute. And for this one we have to add the position from the bottom and left. So we will add bottom 5, left 1 by 2. Then we have to move it in the left side. So we will add translate x 1 by 2, and here we have added minus, so it will move left side. After that we have to add some padding, and then we'll add the flex box properties. So we have added the padding y, padding x, then flex item center and justify between. Then we have to add the duration. So we'll add the duration 500, and then we have to add the hover effect, and when we will hover on the parent div, then it will move its position. So here let's add group hover, and whenever we will hover on this, the bottom position will be 7. So earlier the bottom was 5, and when we hover on it, the bottom will be 7, so it will move up. After adding this, save the changes, and let's come back to the web page. And here you can see if I take cursor over any portfolio card or work card, this a small white box is moving up. It looks good, right? Next, we have to add the CSS properties for this send icon. And we'll also add the CSS property for this project title and description. So let's come back, and here we have this project title in h1. So in this one, we will add the class name, and here we'll add the font semi-bold. Then we have this text in p tag. So here let's add the class name and provide text small, and after that we will add the text color, that is gray 700. Correct. Next, we have to add the CSS properties for this div that contains the send icon. So in this div, we will add the class name, and let's provide border rounded full, border black, and width 9, aspect a square, flex, item center, and justify center. After that, we have to add some shadow. So let's add shadow, and we'll add the value here in this square bracket. So we'll add 2 pixel underscore 2 pixel underscore 0 underscore color code, that is black. So this will be the shadow. And after that, we have to add the hover effect. So we will add group hover. And what will happen? It will change the background colors. So we'll add BG lime 300. Then we'll add the transition. After adding these CSS properties, save the changes and come back to the web page. Now you can see this work section is looking good, and if I move cursor over any card, the white box is moving up and the background color of this send icon is changing. After all these cards, we have to add one button also. If I come back to the design file, here you can see we have one button called show more, right? So we have to create this button. So just come back to the VS Code, and here we have this closing curly braces, then we have this closing div. So after this one, let's add one anchor tag, and in this one we have to add the text called show more. And with this text we have to add the icon also. So let's add image tag, then add the src, and in this src we will add assets dot right arrow bold, and then we'll add the alt property. In the alt we'll add right arrow. After that we'll add the class name, and in this one we will provide the width 4. Now for this anchor tag also we will add some classes. So just add the class name, and here we will add the width max, then we will add flex, then item center, justify center, and gap 2. Then we have to add the text color, and we'll add the border. So we'll add the text gray 700, border 0.5 pixel. After that we have to add the border color, and then we'll add the border radius. So border color is gray 700, then rounded full for the border radius. After that we have to add some padding from X and Y, and then we'll add the margin from X and Y. After that we have to add the hover effect also. So let's add hover, background light hover, and duration 500. That's it. Save the changes and come back to the web page. Now you can see here we have this show more button. So it is not looking good, so just come back. Here we will correct it. It will be PY, py3. Save the changes and come back. Now this button is looking good, and if I move cursor over this button, you can see the background color is changing. So we have this hover effect on this button. Now we have completed this my latest work section, and if I change the screen width, you can see this work section is also responsive. Correct. So after completing this my work section, let's come back to the design file, and in this one you can see we have to create this contact section where we will add this title description. Then we will create one contact form, and when user will submit this contact form, we will receive the inquiry on our email ID. So let's start creating this contact us section. To create this contact us section, let's come back to the VS Code and open this sidebar, and in this components folder, we will create a new file called contact.jsx. Here we will use RAFCE. Now in this one, we have to add the title and description. So let's copy it from the previous section. So in this work, you can see we have added this title in H4, H2 and this description in P tag. So just copy everything and paste it here in this contact within this div. And for this div also we will add the class name. So here we have this class name. Just copy this from the work section and paste it here in this div for the contact section. So in this one we have added width full, padding X, padding Y and scroll empty 20. And in this div we will add one ID also. Using this ID we will scroll the web page. So we will add the ID contact like this. Now in this contact us section we will add one background color. So if I come back to the assets file, in this assets you can see here we have this public folder, and in this one we have this footer background color. Correct. So we are going to use this background color in the contact us section. So just come back and open this VS Code, and here in this div within this class name let's provide background, that is BG and square bracket, and in this one we will add the URL, and in this URL we will add double quote, and here we will add slash and the file name of the image, that is footer bg color dot png, and after that here we will add background no repeat, then we will add the background center. After that we will add background length 90% and auto. That's it. Next we have this title in H4 tags. Here we will update the text, that will be connect with me. After that we will add another text in H2 tag, that is get in touch, and here we have already provided the text center, margin bottom, text large and font ovo that we have copied from the previous section. Then we have to update this description. So here we will add another text in the P tag. So this is our updated description. Now save the changes, and we have to mount this contact component in the page file, that is page.js file. So let's open page.js, and after this work let's add contact. So this contact has been imported from the components folder. Close this tag and come back to the web page. Here after this my work section, you can see we have this title, connect with me, get in touch, and this description. And we have a light color in the background because we have added the background color image. Right. Now just come back and open this contact.jsx file. So here, after this description, we have to create a form. So we will use the form tag, remove this action. Now in this form tag, we have to add the input fields, and we will add 2 input field in a single row. So let's add a div, and in this div we will add 2 input field. So let's add the input. Type will be text, and the placeholder will be enter your name. So the first input field for the name, and this field will be required. And let's duplicate it. Here we will add type email, and in the placeholder we will add enter your email, and it is also required. So this is added in one div, right? After that we will add the text area, and in this one we will add the rows. In this row we will add 6. After that we will add the placeholder, and here we will add enter your message, and it is also required. After that we have to add one submit button. So we will add the button tag, and the button text is submit now, and the button type will be submit, like this. Now save the changes and come back to the web page. Scroll down. So here you can see we have this first input field, enter your name. Then we have the another input field, enter your email. Then we have the text area, enter your message. And here we have this link, submit now. So now we will add the CSS properties for this form. So just come back and let's start with this form tag. So in this form tag, we'll add the class name, and we will add the maximum width and margin X. After that, here we have this div. Here we will add the CSS properties that will align both input field in same row. So let's add grid columns auto that we have already used. Then we have gap and margin top and margin bottom. After that, we'll add the CSS properties for this input fields, right? So in this input field, let's add the class name. So here we'll add the space, and we will provide the class name, and we will provide flex 1, padding, then outline none, then border color gray 400, then rounded medium and background white. Now we will add the same CSS properties for this another input field. So here we'll add the space, then add the class name and provide this class name. Then we have to add the CSS properties in this text area. So after this required, let's add a space, then add the class name, and here we will add this class name. Now save the changes and come back to the web page. So you can see this input fields are looking good. Next we have to add the CSS properties for this submit now button. So just come back, and here in this one we will add the class name, and for this one let's provide padding Y, padding X, maximum width, then flex item center justify between gap 2, then we will add background black 80, then text white, then rounded full, so the corners will be round. Then we have added the margin X auto, and then we have added the hover effect, so when we will take cursor the background will become black. Then we have the duration 500. So we have added the CSS properties for this button. Now in this button we have to add the arrow icon. So here we will add image tag, close this tag, and in this one we will add the src, where we will use assets dot right arrow white. After that we will add the alt property, then we will add the class name for this image, so we will add the width 4, like this. Save the changes and come back to the web page. Now you can see this submit now button is also looking good. After that we have to add one paragraph text where we will display the message after submitting this form. So here after this button we will add one p tag, and in this p tag we will add the message like sending, and here let's add the class name, and in this class name we will add margin top. Save the changes, and here you can see this message sending, right? Now after designing this form we have to add the functionality, so that if I fill this input field and click on this submit now button, we will receive the inquiry on the email ID. For that we are going to use web3 forms. So just search for web3 forms, open this website web3forms.com, and here we have this button create your access key. Just click here. Here you have to enter your email ID and click on this generate access key, so that you will get one access key on your email. I have already generated the access key. It is very simple. Simply enter your email ID and click on this button and get the access key on your email. After that, let's see the setup. So here we have this documentation. Just click on this link, documentation. Then in the left sidebar you can see JS frameworks. Just click here. Then click on this React.js, and in this React.js we have this simple React contact form. Just click on this one. So here we have this sample code to create a simple React.js form that sends the inquiry on the email. So let's use this code. So what we have to do, we have to copy this on submit function. So I'll copy it from here. Just copy this on submit function, and just copy this one also, that is one state variable const result set result. So we have selected this area and just copy this. Now just come back to the VS Code, scroll up and paste it before this return statement. I'll paste it here. So here we have added this line that creates a state variable with the name result, and the setter function name is set result, and we are using this use state hook. So remove this React and import this use state. So just add use state. So use state has been imported from React, and initialize it with empty string like this. After that, here you can see this message, your access key here, right? So here we have to provide the access key that we will get on the email ID. So if I open my email, here I have received the access key. So let me just copy it and paste it here like this. And after that we have to use this result here. So scroll down and you can see we are displaying the message sending, right? So instead of this message sending, we'll add curly braces and provide this result. So it will display the result like successfully sent or failed, or it will also display sending when we have submitted the form. So after that, here we have provided the access key. Next we have to link this function, that is on submit function. So just copy this and scroll down. Here you can see we have this form tag. So in this form tag we'll add on submit. On submit is equal to, and provide this function name on submit. That's it. Next, we have to add the name property. So in the first input field where we are accepting the user's name, right? So in this one, we will add the name, and in this we will add the field name, that is name. After that, here we have the second input field. So in this one, we will add the name property, and in this one we will add the email, because in this one we are accepting the email. Now here we have this text area. So in this text area, we will add the name property, and here we will add the message. So after adding this, we will receive the inquiry on the email with the name, email, and message that we have provided here, like this. So after adding this, save the changes and come back to the web page. And now you can see we don't have any message at the bottom, and here we have the input field. So let's add any data in these input fields. So let's add the name, email, and message. I'll add the name Avinash, then I will add any dummy email ID, test@test.com, and here we'll add the message. Hello there. This is an test email, and click on this button submit now. So you will see the message here. You can see sending, and after that you can see this message, form submitted successfully, right? Now we'll open the email ID. So here you can see we have received the inquiry on our email ID. You can see the title, new form has been submitted on your website, details below. We have the name property, then email and message. So you can see the name that we have provided in the contact form. Then we have the email ID, and here we have the message. Hello here. It should be hello there. This is an test email. So we have successfully added the functionality in this contact form. After creating this contact us section, let's come back to the Figma file. And here you can see we have to create this footer where we will add the logo, email ID, and this copyright message. And in the right side, we will display some links. So let's come back to the VS Code. And here in the left sidebar, we have this components folder. So in this one, we'll create a new file with the name footer.jsx. Here we will use RAFCE. Now in this one, we have this div. So in this one, we have to add another div where we will add the logo. So just add the image. We will use this image from next image. So it has been imported. Now close this tag, and here we will add the src, and in this src let's add assets.logo. After that we will add the alt property, and then we will add the class name. So in this one we will add the width, then we will add the margin from x-axis, that is auto, and after that we will add the margin from bottom. And after that, here we have this div. So in this div, we'll add the class name with text center. And in the first div, we'll add the class name. So here we'll add the margin from the top, like this. Now save the changes and mount this footer component in page.js file. So open page.js, and after this contact we'll add footer. Click here. So this footer has been imported from components folder. Close this tag, save the changes and open the web page. So at the end you can see this logo. Let me refresh it. So this message will be hidden. So here we have this logo that we have added in the footer section. After that, just come back and open footer.jsx file. And after this image, here we will add one div. Here we are adding this div because with this email ID we have to add the email icon also. So to group the icon and text, we are using this div. So in this one, first we have to add the icon. So just copy this image tag and paste it here. And in this one, we'll add the assets.mail icon. After that, we will add the class name width 6. That's it. After this image tag, we will add the email ID, that is GreatStackDev@gmail.com. Now, in this div, we will add the class name that will align this icon and text in same line. So here we will add the flex properties. So just add width, max, flex, item center, gap 2 and mx auto. Save the changes and come back to the web page. So here you can see we have the logo and this email icon and email ID, right? Next we have to add one horizontal line, and below that we will add the copyright message and some links. So just come back, and here after closing of these two div tag, we will add space and provide a new div. And in this one, we'll add the copyright message in p tag. So this is the copyright text. And after that, we'll add the links in ul tag. And in this ul, we'll add the li. And in this li, we'll add the a tag for the link. So in this one, we will add the link text. So we'll add GitHub. And here in this href, we can provide the URL of our GitHub profile. So let me add the URL of our Instagram ID, that is instagram.com GreatStackDev. You can add your own social media profile link here or any other link also. And here, let's duplicate this line. Before that, in this a tag, we'll add the target property. And in this target, we'll add _blank. So when we click on this link, it will open this link in new tab using this target _blank. Now just duplicate this and we will update the link text. So we'll add the LinkedIn, and in the third one, we'll add Twitter. Now save the changes and come back to the web page. Scroll down. So here you can see this message, that is the copyright message. Then we have all three links. Correct. Next we have to add the CSS properties. So just come back and let's start with this div. So in this one, we'll add the class name, and here we will provide text center. For a small and above screen size, we'll add flex item center, justify between, border top, then border gray 400, then margin X and margin top, then padding Y 6. After that, we'll add the CSS properties in this UL tag. So here, let's add the class name, and for this one, we will provide flex item center, gap 10, justify center, margin top, and we'll add margin top for small and above screen size. After adding this, save the changes and come back to the web page. So you can see this footer is looking nice. And if I change the screen size, you can see this footer is responsive also, right? It is looking good in a smaller screen also. And if I scroll the web page to the top, all the contents are looking good in mobile screen. And let's open this web page in full screen. Let me click on this contact me. It is scrolling the web page to the contact section. If I click on my work, it will scroll to the work section. If I click on services, it is scrolling to the services section. If I click on about me, it is scrolling the web page to about me section. And if I click on home, it will scroll the web page to the. So we have created all contents of this portfolio website. Next, we have to add the dark mode on this website, and after that we'll add the animation. To create the dark mode of this website, let's come back to the VS Code and let's open this tailwindconfig.mjs file. In this one, before this plugins, here we will add dark mode. And in this one, let's add selector. Like this. Here we will add comma. That's it. Save the changes. After that, let me come back to this layout.js file. In this one, we have this HTML tag, right? So in this HTML tag, we have the class name. So here we can add the class name called dark. Like this. After that, in any component, we can use this dark selector. So suppose here we have this body tag. So in this body, I want to add different class name whenever the dark mode is applied. So in that case, here let's add dark colon like this. And after this dark colon, we can write any CSS properties that will be applied only whenever the dark mode is on. So here, let me add a different background color. So here we'll add BG dark theme. So if I come back to this tailwind.config, you can see here we have declared a custom color dark theme. So this color code will be applied. So again, come back here and you can see here we have added dark BG dark theme. After that, whenever the background is dark, we have to add a light color in the text. So again, we'll add the dark selector and here we'll add text white. So the text will be white. So these dark class name will be applied whenever in this HTML tag we have this dark. So save the changes and come back to the web page. And now you can see we have this dark color in the background of this web page, and these texts are displayed in the white color like this. After that, let's come back, and from here we will remove this dark and come back to the web page. Now you can see everything in the light mode. So whenever the dark class name is applied in this HTML, then the entire web page will turn into dark mode. But we have to add the dark mode dynamically so that we can change it. For that, let's come here in this page.js file, and in this one, before this return statement, we will add one state variable. So just add const and write the variable name is dark mode. And the setter function name is set is dark mode equal to user state, and here let's add true so that the dark mode will be true. And after that, using this state variable, we will apply the class name in the HTML tag. For that, here we will add the use effect. And in this one, we will add one arrow function. And after this arrow function, we will add the dependency array. And in this one, let's add is dark mode. So whenever this state will change, then it will execute this arrow function. So within this arrow function, we have to check if is dark mode is true. So in that case, what we have to do, we have to add the class name in the HTML tag. So here let's add document dot document element dot class list dot add. So it will add the class name that is dark like this. So whenever this state is true, it means the dark mode is true, then this dark class name will be added in the HTML tag. And if it is false, then we have to remove it. So just copy this one, and here we will add the else statement. And in this else statement, we will paste this one and we will make it remove. So instead of add, here we are adding remove. Now whenever we will add this dark class name in the HTML tag, with that we will add this dark in the local storage of the web browser. So here let's add local storage dot theme. Theme is the key name. So in this theme we will store dark, and after that just copy this one and paste it in this else statement, and here we will add empty string like this. So what will happen? It will apply this class name in the HTML tag. So just come back and you can see here we have this dark mode. So this web page background is dark. Now let's come back, and if I make it false, so it will display the website in light mode like this. Next we will add the code that will detect the dark or light mode from your system or computer. So here, before this use effect, here we will add one more use effect. So it will set the dark mode or light mode as per your system preference. So in this use effect, we will add this arrow function, and here we will add the dependency array, that is empty array. Now in this one we will add the if statement, and here we will add the else. Now in this one we will check if the local storage dot theme is dark, that we have added here. So we are checking this if the local storage has this theme with value dark. Here we will add OR operator. Then we will check not of theme in local storage, and here we will add the AND operator. Then we will add window dot match media, and here we will add one string, and in this one we will add this bracket, and here we will add prefers color scheme dark. After that, here we will add dot matches. So if the color scheme is dark in the system, or we have the dark key in the local storage, in that case we will make this a state dark. So here let's add setter function, set is dark mode, and we will set it true, and if it is false, then here we will add set is dark mode false like this. So we have added the code that will detect the preference of your system and turn the website into dark or light mode. So right now this is in the light mode. Right now we will add the code that will help us to change the light mode to dark mode whenever we will click on this icon. Right now you can see we have this moon icon. So if we click on this moon icon, it will turn the website in dark mode and it will display a sun icon. So just come back, and we have to pass this state variable and setter function in all the components. So first let's copy this one, and we will pass it here in this navbar. So in this navbar we will pass it as props. So we will add is dark mode, curly braces is dark mode, and we have to pass it in all other components. So here let's add it in all the components. Correct. Now in this navbar we will pass the setter function also. So here we have this setter function. So here let's add set is dark mode equal to curly braces and provide this set is dark mode. So now we can access this is dark mode and set is dark mode in this navbar, and we can access this state variable in all the other components also. So after adding it, let me just come back to the navbar. So here we have this navbar.jsx file, And in this one, first we have to get the state variable and setter function in this parameter. So here we will add curly braces, so we will destructure the props. So here let's add is dark mode, and we will get the setter function set is dark mode, like this. After getting it, we have to use this setter function on this icon where we have added the moon icon. So let's scroll down, and here you can see we have this button, and in this button we have this moon icon, correct? So on this button we will add on click and provide this arrow function, and here we will provide this setter function. So what will happen here, when we click on this icon, it will change the dark mode to light mode and light mode to dark mode. So first we have to get the previous value like this, prev, and it will return the opposite value. Suppose it is true, it will return false, and if it is false, it will return true. So here we'll add not of previous, like this. So it will toggle the existing value from true to false and false to true. If I save the changes and come back to the web page, click on this moon icon, you can see the page turns into dark mode, and if I click again, it becomes light. Now we have to update the icon also. So here you can see we have this moon icon. So we have to get this state variable, that is dark mode. We will use this one here in this image src, and in this one we will use this is dark mode. We will use the ternary operator, and here we are checking if the is dark mode is true. In that case, we have to display the sun icon. So here let's add colon, and before this colon we will add assets dot sun icon. So if the dark mode is true, then it will display the sun icon, and if it is false, then it will display the moon icon. It is correct. After adding this, if I open the web page and click on this icon, here we have this sun icon that is not visible because here we have the white color. So we have to remove this white color. Let me just come back and scroll up. Here you can see we have added this div where we have added the background color. So this div will be displayed in the light mode, and in the dark mode it will be hidden. So here we have to add one more class name. So we will add the dark selector, dark colon, and whenever the dark mode is on, it will be hidden. So just add hidden, like this. So it will be hidden on dark mode. Now just come back to the web page. You can see the white background has been removed, and here we have this sun icon, and if I click on this sun icon, we have the light mode and we have the moon icon, and if I click here, we have the sun icon. It is working. After that, we have to add different classes based on the dark or light mode. So just come back, and after this we have this navbar. So in this navbar we have to add different classes when we have the dark mode on. So here we have this shadow. So after this shadow we will add dark selector, and then we will provide the background, that will be dark theme, and after that we will add different shadow. So just add dark selector, and we will add shadow white 20. After that, here you can see we have the logo. So we have to update the logo also whenever we turn the website in dark mode. So here we will add the state variable is dark mode and question mark. So we are adding the ternary operator. Here we will add the colon, and before this colon we will add assets dot logo dark. So if the dark mode is true, then this dark mode logo will be displayed, and if it is false, it will display the normal logo. Save the changes and come back to the web page. You can see we have this white color of logo and the background has been removed for this navigation bar. After that, we'll add the CSS properties in dark mode for this UL tag, where we have added all the menu links. So just come back. And here we have this UL tag. So in this UL tag, we have added this class name, BG white, shadow small, opacity. So after this opacity, let's add dark selector, dark colon. We will add the border. After that, again add dark colon, and we will add border color, that is white with 50% opacity. So just add border white /50. After that, we will add dark colon and we'll add background transparent. Save the changes and come back to the web page. Now you can see this navigation links is looking good. If I scroll this web page, still it is looking good. So it is working fine when we scroll the web page. Next, we have to add the classes for this button in the dark mode. So let me just come back to the VS Code and scroll down. Here we have this button, and after this button we have this link where we have added contact, right? So in this one, here we will add dark colon and we will add the border white /50. And whenever the dark mode is on, we have to update this image. So in this one, we have added this image src. Let me move it in the new line. So in this one, we have added this arrow icon. So we have to update this arrow icon. So here let's add is dark mode ? Then colon, and before this colon, we will add assets dot arrow icon dark. Save the changes. And here we have this button tag, and in this button tag we have the menu icon, that is menu black. So we have to update this icon also. So here again add this is dark mode ? Then add the colon, and before this colon we will add assets dot menu white. Save the changes and come back to the web page. So you can see this contact button is looking good with this white color of icon and white border. And if I change the screen size, here we have this menu icon in white color. If I open this sidebar, you can see we have this color. So we have to change this color. You can see these menu items are not visible. So just come back. And for this mobile menu, we will add the class name in dark mode. So here, let's add dark colon BG, that is background. It will be dark hover. And after that, we'll add dark colon text white, like this. And now let's come back to the web page. You can see these menu items are looking good, but here you can see this cross icon is not visible because it is in the dark color. So we have to update the cross icon. So just come back, and here we have this cross icon in this image tag. So here let's add ternary operator is dark mode true. In that case, we will add assets dot close white. Save the changes and come back to the web page. Now you can see this close icon is also visible and it is looking good. And if I click on this cross icon, we can see this menu icon, and if I click on this menu icon, we have this cross icon. So it is working fine. So we have added the dark mode classes for this navigation bar. After that, we have to add the classes in the dark mode for this header section. So let's come back to the VS Code and we will open header.jsx file. In this header.jsx file, we have this div, and in this div we have added 2a tag for two buttons, right? So in the first one, we have added contact me. So in this one, we have the class name. So here, let's add dark. And here we will provide background transparent. And in the second A tag, we will add dark and we will provide text black. Save the changes and open the web page. You can see the first button is looking good, but in the second one, the text is not visible. So just come back, and here before this dark colon, here we will add background white, that is BG white. Save the changes and come back to the web page. Now you can see this My Resume button is looking good. And if I turn the website in light mode, still this navigation bar and this header is looking good in light mode. And if I turn the dark mode, here also it is looking good. So we have added the dark mode classes for this header section. After that, we have this About Me section. So we will add the classes for this About Me section in dark mode. So just come back to the about.jsx file. In this one, here we will destructure the is dark mode a state from props. So just add is dark mode. And after that, let's scroll down, and here we have added this info list. So in this one, we have added the class name in this li tag. So in this li tag, after this hover shadow black, we will add dark selector. So just add dark colon, and we have to provide the border color. So the border color will be white. After that, again add the dark selector, and here we will add the white shadow whenever we will hover on this component or element. So here we will add the white shadow whenever we will hover on this element. So we have to add hover shadow white. After that, again add this dark colon, and then we'll add the hover. So whenever we will hover on the element, whenever the dark mode is on, we have to add the background color. So the background color will be dark hover /50. After that, we'll add different image in the dark mode. So here we have added the icon. So here we'll check is dark mode. If it is true, then we have to display another icon. So here let's add icon dark that we are getting from here, right? So we have added icon dark when the dark mode is true. And after that, here we have the S3 tag. So here also we will add dark, and whenever the dark mode is on, we will add text white. After that, in this P tag, we will add dark, and here we will add text white /80, like this. Save the changes and come back to the web page. So you can see these cards are looking good in dark mode, and here we have the white border and white color of shadow. After that, here we have this text tools I use. So we have to change the color of this text in dark mode. So just come back, and here we have this text in H4. So in this one also, we will add this class name dark colon text white /80. That's it. Save the changes and come back to the web page. So this text is also looking good. So we have added the class name in the dark mode for this About Me section. After that, we have to add the classes for this My Services section whenever the dark mode is on. For that, let's come back to the VS Code and open services.jsx file. In this one, let's scroll down, and here we have this service data. So in this one, we have added these classes for this div. So after this duration 500, we will add dark colon, and we will add the hover and whenever we will hover on this element in the dark mode, then we have to update the background color. So we will add BG dark hover. After that, again add this dark and hover. So we have to update the shadow. So we will add shadow white. Correct. And after that, we will add the different color for this title and text. So in this title, which is in the h3 tag, here let's add dark text white. And after that, in this p tag, we will add dark text white /80 for this description. After adding it, save the changes and come back to the web page. So you can see this My Services section is looking good in the dark mode. And here we have this white border, then we have the white color of shadow, and we have the background color when we hover on these elements. After that, we have to add the CSS for this My Work section. So let's come to VS Code and we will open work.jsx. So in this one, here we have added work data. So in this div, we have added gap 5. So after that, we have to add dark selector and we'll add text black. Save the changes. So these titles are visible in the dark mode. After that, let's come back and scroll down. So here we have this a tag, right, where we have added this text show more. So in this one, we have to add the class name for the dark mode. So here after this duration 500, we will add the dark selector and we have to change the text color. So we will add the text white. After that, again add the dark selector and we will change the border color. So the border will be white. Again add the dark selector and we will change the background color whenever we will hover on this element. So here let's add dark colon hover colon BG dark hover. That will update the background color. After that, here we have added this icon using this image tag. So in this image tag, we have to update the icon whenever the dark mode is on. So first we have to destructure the dark mode. So scroll up and here we will add is dark mode. Correct. Now we will use it here. In this image src, we will add is dark mode question mark colon, and before this colon we will add assets dot right arrow bold dark. That's it. Save the changes and come back to the web page. So now you can see in the dark mode this button is looking good, and here we have the white color of arrow. So this My Work section is looking good in the dark mode. After that, let's scroll down and here we have this context section. So we have to add some CSS properties for this context section whenever the dark mode is on. So here let's come back to the VS Code and we will open context.jsx file. In this one, here we have this div. In this div, within this class name, let's add dark colon, and here we have to remove the background. So just add BG none. So in the light mode, we have added this background image. So we are removing this background image in the dark mode. Save the changes and come back to the web page. So you can see the background of this context section is looking good. After that, we have to add the classes for these input fields. So just come back and scroll down. So in this form tag, we have this input field, right? So in this input field, let's add the classes. So after this, background white. Let me add some space here so that you can see all the input fields clearly. So here we have the first input field. So in this class name we will add dark colon, and here we will add different background color. So just add BG dark hover /30. After that again add the dark selector, then add border. It will be white /90. Now just copy this one, that is dark selector and the class name, and paste it in the second input field, which is here. So paste it here. After that scroll down, and here we have the text area. So in this text area, within this class name we will provide this class, that is dark BG dark hover 30 and dark colon border white /90. After that we have this submit button. So in this submit button also we will add the class name. So here after this duration 500 we will add the dark selector and provide background transparent. After that we will add dark, and we have to add the border. So we will add border and provide the border width, that is 0.5 pixel. After that again add the dark selector, and here we will add the hover, and whenever we will hover in the dark mode we will change the background color. So just add BG dark hover. That's it. Save the changes and come back to the web page. So you can see this form is looking good in the dark mode, and here we have the submit button. If I hover on this button, you can see the background color is changing. Now if I scroll down, here we have this footer, and in this footer you can see we have this logo. So we have to update this logo, and we have to update this mail icon, correct? So let's come back and we will open this footer.jsx file, and in this one first we will destructure the state variable from the props. So just add curly braces is dark mode. Now using this is dark mode state, we will update the logo and mail icon. So we have added the logo in this image tag. So here we will add this ternary operator is dark mode is true. In that case we have to display another icon. So just add assets dot logo dark, and if it is false it will display the normal logo. Now we'll add the same thing here in this second image tag where we have added the mail icon. So here also we will add this is dark mode question mark, and we'll add this colon, and before that we will add assets dot mail icon dark. After adding it, save the changes and come back to the web page. So you can see we have this white color of logo in the dark mode, and we have the white color of mail icon, right? So entire web page is looking good in the dark mode, and we can easily switch between light mode and dark mode using this icon. And if we are on the dark mode and if I reload this web page, it is still in the dark mode, and if I switch to light mode and click on refresh button, still it is light mode. So we have added the light mode and dark mode functionality on our portfolio website. After adding it, we have to add the animation. For that we will use the framer motion. So let's search for framer motion on Google. We will open this website motion.dev, and here you can see this command npm install motion, or you can click on this link quick start. So it will open the documentation. Just click on react. So here you can see the steps. First we have to install the motion. So using this command we can install the motion, npm install motion. Let me just copy it and come back to the VS Code. Open the terminal and our project is running. So first we have to stop the project using Ctrl+C. Yes. After that, paste the command npm install motion. Press enter. So it will install the Framer motion package in our project. After that, again start the project using npm run dev. Press enter. So again our project is running in the web browser at localhost port 3000. Now just hide this terminal and let's come back to the web page and see the next step. So first we have to import the motion from motion/react. So let's copy this and come back to the VS Code. And I want to add the animation in the header section. So in this header.jsx file at the top, here we will add import motion from motion/react. After importing this motion from motion react, let's come back to the web page again. And here you can see the next step. So we have to use this motion component. So if you are using div, you can add motion.div. If you are using UL tag, you can use motion.ul. If you are using p tag, you can use motion.p. If you are using button, you can use motion.button, like that. So just come back and I want to add the animation in this div where we have added the image, right? So in this div, we will add motion.div, and here you can see we have added motion.div in closing tag. So we have to add the opening tag and closing tag like this. After adding it, we have to add the animations. So let's come back and see the documentation. We can add like this, animate, then we'll add the values like this. We can add the another animation like this one, initial value and animate. And let me scroll down and here we have this option called a scroll animation. So I want to reveal the animation whenever we will scroll the web page to the particular element, right? So to reveal the animation on a scroll, we are going to use this while in view. So here we will add the initial value of the CSS properties, and then we will add the final value that will be added when we scroll the web page to the particular element. So here we have to add the initial and while in view like this. So let's use it in our code. So here we have added the motion.div. So in this one, let's add a space, and here we will add initial, and in this initial we will add the curly braces and we will provide a scale. So initially it will be scale 0, so it will be hidden, right? Now we have to turn it into original size. So we have to add the scale 1. So when the scale 1 will be added when we scroll the web page. So here let's add while in view, and here we will add the curly braces and we will provide the scale 1. So while this element comes in view, then we will set the scale 1, so it will be visible again. After that we have to add the duration. So here let's add transition. In this transition we will add duration, that is 0.8. After that we will add the type, and in this type we will add spring. After that let's add a stiffness, and it will be 100. After adding this, let's save the changes and come back to the web page. If I reload this web page, you can see the animation in this profile image. It is small and it becomes big and comes to original size. Let's refresh it again. You can see we have the animation in this profile icon or profile image. If I scroll down and come back, you can see the animation. Right? So it is displaying the animation when this element comes into view after scrolling the web page. Correct? Similarly, we will add the animation in this text. Right? So to add the animation here, just come back. And here we have this text in the h3 tag. So we will add the animation in this h3. So here let's add a space. And before this h3, we have to add motion dot h3, and the closing tag is motion dot h3. Correct? After that, here we will add the initial and while in view. Correct? So just copy it from here and paste it here in this h3 tag. So here we will add the initial value. We will add the y colon -20. After that, we will add the opacity. So the opacity will be 0. So initially it will be hidden. And once it comes into view, we will set the opacity 1 and it will come to the original position. So we will add the y. It will be 0. It will come to original position and we will make it visible using this opacity. Opacity will be 1. And after that, here we will add the transition. So in this transition, we will add duration 0.6 and we will add some delay. So here let's add delay of 0.3. Save the changes and come back to the web page. Here we have the animation in this text. You can see this text is coming down and the opacity is increasing. Right? After that, we will add the animation in this text where we have added this large text that is written in the h1 tag. So just come back, copy this one and come to this h1 tag. In this h1 tag, we will add motion.h1. Add the space and here paste this one. So we will add the initial value y -30. Then opacity 0 and then while in view it will be y0 opacity 1 and here we will add the duration 0.8 and delay 0.5. After that, we will add the animation in this text which is written in the p tag. Right, here we have this p tag. So in this p tag, we will add motion.p and we will add the animation properties. Initially it will be hidden, so just add opacity 0. After that, we will add opacity 1 once it comes into view. And here we will add the delay of 0.7 and we will add the duration 0.6. Correct? After that, we have to add the animation in the buttons. So here we have the buttons in this a tag. Right? So here we will add motion.a and for the second button also we will add motion.a anchor tag. In this one, let's add a space and we will add the animation properties. Here we will add initial y30, then opacity 0. So it will be down and it will come up once it comes into view. So we will add y0 and opacity 1. After that, we have to add the duration and delay. So in the delay, we will add 1 and in the duration, we will add 0.6. We will add the same thing in the second button. So just copy this, paste it here. So we have added y30, opacity 0, while in view y0, opacity 1. Then Here we will increase the delay. So the delay will be 1.2. That's it. Now save the changes and come back to the web page. You can see this header section is fully animated. If I scroll down and come here, you can see first you will see the animation in this profile image, then this text, then this one, and after that you will see the animation in this button. If I reload it, you will see the same animation. So this header section is looking very nice with this smooth animation that we have added using Framer motion. After that we will add the animation in this About Me section. So just come back and open about.jsx file. In this about.jsx file, here we have this div. So we will add the animation in this div. So just add motion.div. So first we have to import the motion. So here let's add import statement, import curly braces, motion from motion/react. Let me just copy from the website. Here we have this import statement, import motion from motion/react. Add it here. After that we have to add this motion component. So we will add motion.div. And in this div we will add the animation properties. So here let's add initial, and initial we have to hide this. So we will add the opacity 0. So it will be hidden. Now once it comes into view, so we will add while in view. Then we will set the opacity 1, so it will be visible. After that we will add the transition, and in the transition we will add the duration, and here we will add the duration 1. Now save the changes and come back to the web page. You can see this About Me section is coming with smooth animation. Initially it is hidden, then the opacity is increasing and it is clearly visible. Correct. Now just come back and we will add the animation in this h4 tag. So we will add motion.h4 and copy these properties. Just copy and paste it here like this. And here we will set the opacity, and we will also change the position. So we will change the Y, it will be -20. So it will be moved up, and after it comes into view, we will set the position to 0. So we will add opacity 1 and Y 0. Then we will add the duration 0.5, and we will add the delay, that is, or 0.3. Now we will add the animation in the next text, that is in the h2 tag. So just copy this one, and here in this h2 we will add motion.h2 tag, and here let's add these property. We will set Y -20, opacity 0, then Y0, opacity 1, then we will add delay 0.5, and duration will be 0.5. After that we will add the animation in this div. So here let's add motion.div and paste this one. Here we will set the opacity 0, and here in while in view we will add the opacity 1. Then we have to add the duration. It will be 0.8. After that we have another div here. In this div we have added the user's image. Correct. So for this div we will add the animation. We will add motion component using motion.div. Then we will add this property. We will set opacity 0 and we will set a scale. So the scale will be 0.9. 9. And while in view, we will set the opacity 1 and scale 1. So it will come to the original size. Here we will add duration 0.6. Correct? Save the changes. And next we have to add the animation in this div where we have added flex 1, right? So here we will add the motion component using motion.div, and here we will paste this properties. Here we will set the opacity 0. Then we will add the opacity 1. Then we will add delay and duration. So we will add the delay of 0.8 and the duration will be 0.6. Correct? After that we have this UL tag, right? So in this UL tag we will add the animation. So we will add motion.ul. Here we have this closing tag motion.ul. Now in this one we'll add these animation properties. So we'll add the initial opacity 0. While in view opacity will be 1. Then we will add the duration 0.8 and delay will be 1. Save the changes. After that we have these list items using this li tag. So in this li also we will add the animation. So we will add the motion component motion.li. After that here we will add while in view. So just add scale 1.05. We have to wrap it in curly braces like this. Now save the changes and come back to the web page. Here you can see this about me section is animated. These texts are coming with smooth animation. Then we have the animation in this profile image. After that these texts are coming with these cards. Next we have to add the animation in this icons and this text. So just come back and here you can see we have this text in H4. So here also we will add the animation. So we will add motion.h4 and here we will add these properties, that is initial, while in view and transition. Initially we will add the y20 opacity 0, then while in view opacity 0, then while in view y0 opacity 1, then transition, delay 1.3, duration 0.5. After that we will add the animation for this UL tag. So just add motion.ul and in this one we will provide initial opacity 0, then opacity 1, then delay and duration. These things. Then we will add the animation in this li tag. So we will add motion.li. Here we will add the property while hover and we will add scale 1.1. Save the changes and you can see here we have added this while in view. So it will be while hover. So whenever we will hover on this element, it will increase the size slightly. Save the changes and come back to the web page. You can see the size is increasing. And here also you can see the animation. If I reload the web page, you can see all the elements are animated in this about me section. If I scroll down and come to the about section again, you can see the animation again. It looks good. Next we have to add the animation in the next section, that is my services. So let's come back and open services.jsx file. In this one, first we have this div. So here let's add a space and we will add the motion component. So first we have to add the import statement. So let's copy the import statement from here. Paste it here. After that we'll add motion.div Now in this one we'll add these properties. So initially opacity will be 0, and once it is displayed, then the opacity will be 1, then duration 1. So once it comes into view, we will set the opacity 1, so it will be visible. After that we'll add the animation in this text which is written in the h4 tag, right? So here we'll add motion.h4 and we'll add these properties, that is initial y-20 opacity 0, then y0 opacity 1, then delay and duration. Correct. After that we'll add the animation in this text, that is h2 text. So here we'll add this motion.h2 and here we'll add the properties, that is initial y-20 opacity 0, y0 opacity 1, delay 0.5 and duration 0.5. Correct. After that we'll add the animation in this text which is in the p tag. So here let's add a space and we'll add the motion component, motion.p, and here we'll add these animation properties, that is opacity 0, opacity 1, delay 0.7 and duration 0.5. After applying it, scroll down and here we have this div where we are displaying all these services. So in this div also we'll add the animation, so just add motion.div, add the space here, and here we will provide the initial opacity 0, then while in view opacity 1, then delay and duration, this one. Next we have to add the animation in each service that is displayed using this div. Correct. So here we'll add the space and we'll add the motion.div, and here let's add while hover. Let's add scale, it will be 1.05. Correct. After adding it, save the changes and come back to the web page. Now you can see the animation in this My Services section. You can see these elements are animated. After that we will add the animation in the next section, that is My Work, right? So just come back and open this work.jsx file. In this one, here we have this div. In this one we have to add the animation. So first we'll add the import statement. Let me just copy from here, paste it here in this work.jsx file. Then in this div we'll add motion.div. Then we'll add the space, and in this one we'll add the initial value, that is opacity 0. Then while in view opacity will be 1 and duration 1, like this. After that we'll add the animation in this text that is written in the h4 and h2. So just add motion.h4 and provide this value. After that in this h2 we will add motion.h2 and provide these animation value in this h2, this one. Next we have to add the animation in the description, that is here. So in this description we will add the motion component, motion.p, add the space and provide initial opacity 0, while in view opacity 1, then delay and duration for this description. Next we have this div where we have added the work details or portfolio, right? So in this div we will add the animation. So just add motion.div, then add the space, and here we will add the initial value opacity 0, then while in view opacity 1, then delay and duration. Next we will add the animation in each individual portfolio or work. So here we have this div. So just add motion.div, add the space, and here let's add while hover scale 1.05 and transition duration 0.3. After that scroll down, and here we have this button using this a tag, right, where you can see the text show more. So in this one also we will add the animation. So we will add motion.a and let's add the space, and here we will provide initial opacity 0, then while in view opacity 1, then delay and duration. Save the changes and come back to the web page. Now you can see the animation in this work section. All items are initially hidden and then it becomes visible with a smooth transition. Next we have to add the animation in this context section. For that, let's come back to the VS Code and open contact.jsx file. And in this one also we will add this import statement, import motion from motion/react. Correct? Then we will add the animation in this first div, right? So here let's add motion.div, then add the space, and here we will provide initial opacity 0, then while in view opacity 1 and transition duration 1. And then we have this title in H4, then H2 and P. So in this H4 we will add motion.h4 and provide this animation properties. So add the space and provide this one, initial y-20 opacity 0, then while in view y0 opacity 1, then delay and duration. Similarly we will add the animation in H2. So we will add motion.h2. Here we will add the animation properties, initial -20y and opacity 0, y0 and opacity 1 for while in view, then delay and duration. After that, here we have this text in p tag, so we will add motion.p, then add space. Here we will add opacity 0 for initial, then while in view opacity 1, then duration and delay. Correct? Next we have this form tag. So we will add the animation in this form tag. So here let's add motion.form, then add the space, and for this form we will add initial 0, so it will be hidden, and then we will add while in view opacity 1, it will be visible. Then we have the delay and duration. Correct? After that, in this form we have the input fields. Correct? So in this first input field, let's add motion.input. Then we will add the animation properties, that is initial x -50, so it will be moved in the left side and opacity 0. Then while in view it will come to original position. We have added x0, so it will come to original position with opacity 1. Then we have the delay and duration. Correct? Now just copy this one, and here we have the another input field. We will add motion.input, add the space and paste the same animation properties, but here we will update this one. It will be x50, so initially it will be in the right side, and once it comes into view, then the x position will be 0, so it will come to the original position. Here we will add the delay 1.2 and duration 0.6. Next we have this text area. So in this text area also we will add the animation. We will add motion.text area. Right? Here we will add the space, and in this text area, let's add y100 opacity 0 for initial, then y-line view y0 opacity 1, then delay and duration. Correct. Now we will add the animation in this submit button. So here we will add motion.button, then add the space, and in this button we will add while hover, it will increase this size. So we have added scale 1.05 and duration 0.3. So we have added the animation for this submit button. Next we have this text in p tag where we are displaying the result. Now save the changes and come back to the web page. So you can see this contact me section is also animated if I scroll this web page. If I reload this web page, you can see all the elements are coming with smooth animation. If I scroll up and let's scroll the web page smoothly, so you will see all the animation added on this website. We have the header part, then this about me, then this my services, then my latest work, then contact section. So this complete web page is looking beautiful with beautiful animation, and this dark mode and light mode switch option is also working. So finally we have completed our beautiful portfolio website using Next.js. If you have any question, you can ask me in the comment section. Please like and share this video, and also subscribe my channel GreatStack to watch more videos like this one. Thank you so much for watching this video.